books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
Log in to KofiPaisaTV.com and get Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, from Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, One Night Before Bed by Any Harek Sean Calfunny, Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Paisa, From Cocaine to Consciousness by Any Harek Sean Calfunny, As I Learned, We All Learn by Kofi Paisa. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, Family Connect Apparel, and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards available now on KofiPaisaTV.com.
Copyright disclaimer: under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. ETM Hotel Rennie Sean, welcome in peace. My name is Sean. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into Science with Sean. I know it's early. I know a lot of people might not catch us, but I do want to say what up, Nunu, what up, Dave B, what up, Chavis, what up, Mongo, what up, Teddy, what up from West Africa, what up, Lamar, what up, Charles, what's good with everybody. Peace to everybody that may catch the replay of this. This is not going to be a long video at all. I promise you. As you can see from the title of the video, it is named "This is Why Rizza Got Censored." Okay. This is the case of fake COVID scare. And we have Rizza Islam up. I'm not even going to deal with the other Muhammad that try to use Nicki Minaj's little story to regurgitate the NOI's position on COVID-19 prevention, which is some nonsense we've already dealt with on several shows. But what I am going to ask everybody to do for me is to like the show and share the show. Please pray for your brothers and sisters down there in Texas. You know, they got hit with the tropical storm. Some of them dealing with power outages and things of that nature. So hopefully they stay safe. But most of them are on the north side of H-Town and other places. So, you know, it might not be too severe, but the banks in the south, you know, they probably had some experience down there with issues from the tropical storm that may be more severe. But keep everybody in your hearts and prayers and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? As the hurricane season or tropical storm season is in full effect. Also, today is Big Brother Nahisi, the silent assassin's birthday. So shout out to Brother Nahisi. Happy birthday to you, brother, or as they say in Ronnie Kemet, Heru Masud Nefer, Sin Nahisi. So that's a happy birthday, brother Nahisi. I would say Sin Weird, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call you no elder brother. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it like that. Again, like the show, share the show with Up Pure. I see you in the building. It's a little early for you. I know you just now probably getting sleep out of your eyes. This is why Rizza got censored. Now, I'm going to play the video a couple of times and I'm going to slow it down. We're just going to use their logic the first time, and then I'm going to come back with the sources. Now, you do know I'm going to have the sources in the description of the video for anyone that actually wants to know more information. This is old information, but we're going to use it today, okay? This is how you catch Rizza Islam. This is why he's banned from the platforms that he's banned from. What up, Mr. Morpheus? What's up, Don Dada? Peace to y'all, brothers. Let me cancel this. Let me come back with the share. And let me go ahead and get this thing crackalating. All right, y'all can see my screen. Let's build. Minute 25 video. Now, just so I don't have no Instagram. No Instagram. This is Rizza Islam. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got censored. This is him. This is picture. Well, of course I can't see it, but this is picture. He said, well, he said it, not me. He's one out of tens of thousands. So let's go. TikTok video.
Hey everybody, wanted to show you this. My COVID-19 vaccination card. Yeah, fully vaccinated by Pfizer. It was final on May the 6th. Fully vaccinated. Now to all you unvaccinated people, I would like to say, stand your ground. I wish 100% I would have never gotten this vaccine. I had COVID-19 in 2019. I got it again in 2020. I made it as a medical choice, listening to doctors and healthcare workers about getting the vaccine. I would not get COVID no more. We know what a big lie that is. 2 weeks after my final vaccination, I have had nothing but problems. A lot of physical problems I never had before. At this point in time, they are almost debilitating, where I can barely function. I go to the doctor tomorrow, but I don't expect any good news whatsoever. But I want to tell everybody that has not been vaccinated, stand your ground. Do not get the vaccination. It's all a big lie.
All right, so that's the first time that I'm gonna play it. Now, if you already have a position regarding vaccines, this resonates with you but doesn't resonate with you because you don't really understand it unless you know what's going on. You just hear it and then you just share it. This was posted 7 days ago, has 103,000 views. Okay, he says all of the videos from people who have taken the shot that are negative have been continued to be removed from all mainstream media. Well, how is this on Instagram? All right, it says they are hiding the tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people who are telling you about their experiences. What is above the word of science, doctor, nurse, personal experience, reactions. Remember, we expose the reality that they have over 150 new vaccines in the pipeline that they have been working on, and that they will come up with a new variant, then send out the new vaccine every couple of months. Booster shots will not stop, neither will the variants until we want it to stop. Now, I'm reading his post, but my focus is on this. We can deal with what he's saying in his post because this is easy work. All right. If you go look at a previous video that I did on vaccines and well, not vaccines, but on variants. All right. You have to know viruses. Viruses mutate, viruses adapt. So when you have a host go into a new element and infect new host, the virus then has the ability to replicate in that new environment and therefore causing a new variation of the original virus. This is how you get a variant. Rizza doesn't know how a variant comes about because he's unfamiliar with evolution. He doesn't know the evolution of viruses either. They mutate and adapt. This is how you get a variant. Remember, new variant is not a new virus. So for him to say a new vaccine is crazy. And with mRNA technology, which he's reporting about, he said something about Pfizer. Pfizer doesn't need to create a new vaccine. They could keep the same vaccine and modify the the structure of the vaccine or the messenger, modify the messenger to defend itself against something if it needed to be. Okay, this is similar to the flu vaccine, except for the technology is faster and easier for it to do what needs to be done. I'm getting off track, but I'm just kind of dealing with this in a way that I can actually knock him all the way out the box. All right, so no, we don't even need a new vaccine right now. Why? Because the vaccines that we've had are performing very well against all variants, even against Delta. Yeah, we have some spikes in breakthrough infections, which are in the 20s, tens of 15,000 mark. I'm gonna say 20s. I'm gonna say 20,000, right? I'm only gonna say that because there's only like 11,000 severe cases of breakthrough infection, and the majority of them have recovered from the breakthrough infection. And I'm really stretching out severe. If we just want to be technical, we only had 2,000 deaths due to breakthrough infection. There's 654,000 or more now COVID deaths. So you have 0.0 what is it, 0.03% of the population, or the vaccinated population. Actually, it's less than that of the population that that has died. So the numbers, right, are standing on the side. This is why scientists and biologists are arguing about if a booster shot is needed, because the 99% of the hospitalizations and deaths are in unvaccinated people. Now, if those numbers go to 80%, then we should start having a booster shot conversation. We ain't even getting there. So as more people get vaccinated and gain protection, whether they've been naturally infected and got one dose or whether they got 2 doses of the vaccine, we're going to see a larger portion of the population showing resistance. Now, the goal is to change it from a pandemic to an endemic. If we can get to an endemic, as science says, we get to an endemic, then we start to see COVID act as a behaviors of a common cold, right? And that's what we want to get things down to where the symptoms are basically rare and non-existent, or mild, and you don't have any serious cases. You may still have some serious cases in the population, but that's the goal. So he says booster shots will not stop, neither will the variants, until we want it to stop. There are tens of hundreds of thousands of people who were fully experimented on that regret it, and who are experiencing multiple health issues as a result. Okay, where is this data? Where is this data? You see what I'm saying? He can get away with saying all the things that he's saying right here and not provide a single source. Then he says tens of thousands have passed away as a result of taking the shot. Now tens of thousands. Okay, so now you got hundreds of thousands you got tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people who were fully experimented on, regretted. Where are they at? Then he says there's tens of thousands of people who have passed away of taking a shot, according to theirs. Where is that data? Because theirs only has 6,600 and something reported deaths, but there's only 2,000 confirmed deaths. So where is that data? This says this is no secret, but now people are waking up to this fact. So let's go back to the video. Okay, let's go back to the video and let's play this. Now, let me set the stage. This gentleman says he caught COVID in 2019. Remember that.
Hey everybody, wanted to show you this, my COVID-19 vaccination card. Yeah, fully vaccinated by Pfizer. It was final on May the 6th. Fully vaccinated. Now, to all you unvaccinated people, I would like to say, stand your ground. I wish 100% I would have never gotten this vaccine. I had COVID-19 in 2019. I got it again in 2020. I made it as a medical choice, listening to doctors and healthcare workers about getting the vaccine. I would not get COVID no more. We know what a big lie that is. 2 weeks after my final vaccination, I have had nothing but problems. A lot of physical problems I never had before. At this point in time, they are almost debilitating, where I can barely function. I go to the doctor tomorrow, but I don't expect any good news whatsoever. But I want to tell everybody that has not been vaccinated, stand your ground. Do not get the vaccination. It's all a big lie. Hey, everybody. Wanted to show you this.
Now, first thing first, okay? When you get vaccinated, and I know y'all can't really see this card, but when you get vaccinated, it don't have all this writing all over it. That's from there. You just put your first name, last name, and then they ask you for your date of birth. I don't know what this middle stuff is. I have no idea. They may put a sticker on it to solidify when you've got the vaccine, but you know, they don't do all of this extra stuff. Look at the dates. They don't do a top date and bottom date. They usually do these schedule dates. When they fill these cards out, they fill the cards out the first 2 slots. Because if you had to get any other vaccine, then they're going to line it up with a date for there was a third shot, then and you already got the card, then they're going to put this information here and date it. Then they're going to put if there's any more information behind it, they're going to put a slot right here and date it. Why would they put a date here? Why would they put a date here and then put a date here? It invalidates the card. Then you got to go through and look at the validity of this card to make sure it ain't one of those fake vaccine cards. So let's just say, what if this vaccine card is authentic and he did have both doses? Let's see what he says, and we're going to catch him in his lie.
Hey, everybody. Wanted to show you this. My COVID-19 vaccination card. Yeah, fully vaccinated by Pfizer. It was final on May the 6th. Fully vaccinated. Now, to all you unvaccinated people, I would like to say, stand your ground. I wish 100% I would have never gotten this vaccine. I had COVID-19 in 2019.
I had COVID-19 in 2019. First confirmed case of COVID-19 found in the U.S. This article was written in January 21 on 2020. Following a rapid spread from its origin in Wuhan lab, the first U.S. case of COVID-19, all right here, is confirmed in a man from Washington State. The following rapid spread from its origin in the Wuhan, China, the first U.S. case of the 2019 novel coronavirus, which causes a disease known as COVID-19, is confirmed in a man from Washington State. The virus, which would spark a pandemic, was first reported in China on December 31st, 2019. Halfway across the world on January 19, a man who had returned home to Snohomish County, Washington, near Seattle on January 15th. On January 15th, I'm going to say this again. The virus, which sparked the pandemic, was first reported in China in December 31st, 2019. Halfway across the world on January 19th, which would be 2020, a man returned home to Snohomish County in Seattle after traveling from Wuhan. He was immediately sent to urgent care clinic, seeing reports of an outbreak. experiencing a cough, fever, nausea, vomiting. The CDC control announced on January 21st, 2 days later, that the 35-year-old had tested positive for COVID. He was hospitalized, where his condition grew worse and he developed pneumonia. His symptoms abated 10 days later. In the following months, the Seattle area became an epicenter of the early U.S. outbreak, with 39 residents of a life care center and nursing home in Kirkland died from complications of the virus within 4-week span. In some cases, people who died from COVID-19 in January 2020 but didn't know it at the time had their death certificates amended to show they died from the virus. According to the CDC, 14 U.S. coronavirus cases were noted by the public health agencies between January 21 and February 23rd, 2020. All patients had traveled to China. The first non-traveling case was confirmed in California on February 26th, and the first U.S. death was reported on February 29th. How to catch the lie.
I like to say, stand your ground. I wish 100% I would have never gotten this vaccine. I had COVID-19 in 2019. I got it again in 2020. I made it as a medical choice.
He had COVID-19 in 2019, and then he said he got COVID-19 again in 2020. All right. Now, the FDA didn't approve Pfizer or didn't approve Moderna until December of 2020 for emergency use authorization. This is the emergency use letter. Since December 11, 2020, they had the vaccine has been available under EUA. On December 18, 2020, the FDA emergency authorized use for the second vaccine for prevention of coronavirus caused by the blah, blah, blah. Here we go. So we have December 11th and December 18th when the vaccines were approved for EUA. This gentleman has had COVID-19 in December 2019, because that's what he said. I had it in 2019 and I had it again in 2020. A vaccine was not approved for emergency use until December of 2021, and the public, the public, was not eligible to receive the vaccine until frontliners had received the vaccines. People with comorbidities have received the vaccine. The elderly and the comorbidities, people who are at high risk, received the vaccines, and then it became available for people under the ages of 60 and then 50s and then, and so on and so on. We all know what the rollout was at the beginning stages of 2021. Remember, we are now in 2021. Okay, so March, April, May is really when the public began to be getting the vaccine. The elderly was before that, but we didn't get the vaccine until March, April, May, going around there, because I got mine in April. All right, so he says he had COVID twice before he got the vaccine. Now, he didn't get this vaccine, he didn't get the vaccine until May of this year. So what I'm trying to do here is show you that the man said that he had COVID in 2019. He said he got it again in 2020. The vaccine wasn't available until 2021 of May for him when he got it from Pfizer. So he had COVID twice, way before he had a vaccine a year later, or however long it was after the second time he had COVID. So he already had COVID issues. But he's saying that his COVID issues began after May. This is how you catch the lie. And this is why Rizza is banned from social media platforms for sharing stuff like this.
Hey, everybody. Wanted to show you this, my COVID-19 vaccination card. Yeah, fully vaccinated by Pfizer. It was final on May the 6th. Fully vaccinated. Now, to all you unvaccinated people, I would like to say, stand your ground. I wish 100%.
I don't want to say this, but I really think this dude drunk. I mean, when I'm listening to him, he's very slurred. Now, remember, this is the Nation of Islam. Well, no, I'm sorry. Rizza's not in the nation, but he is a staunch supporter. He is also a part of the Dirty Dozen, the 12 people who spread misinformation on social media. But Rizza has been censored, so he comes back with a new page called Censored, and then he shares his message. So what I'm doing here is I am trying to show y'all exactly why Rizza is banned. There's nothing scientific in Rizza's approach, because if he had the data that he stated in his little video, I mean, his subtitle, right, he would put the numbers up.
I would have never gotten this vaccine. I had COVID-19 in 2019. I got it again in 2020. I made it as a medical choice, listening to doctors and healthcare workers about getting the vaccine. I would not get COVID no more. We know what a big lie that is. 2 weeks after my final vaccination, I have had nothing but problems. A lot of physical problems I never had before. At this point in time, they are almost debilitating, where I can barely function. I go to the doctor tomorrow, but I don't expect any good news whatsoever. But I want to tell everybody that has not been vaccinated, stand your ground. Do not get the vaccination. It's all a big lie.
Got to go back.
I have had nothing but problems. A lot of physical problems I never had before. At this point in time, they are almost debilitating, where I can barely function.
All right, so we don't know who this gentleman is that Rizza's sharing the TikTok video of. Maybe y'all can probably track the dude down by his handle. Whatever this is, Joe. I don't know. I can't see that. Joe Lamin, or like Joel, Joel, and then I think that's a IMM116 or whatever. We don't know who this guy is. We're introduced to this guy via Rizza Islam's Instagram post that has 103,000 views. Now, it doesn't have crazy numbers like in the millions, but he's got a lot of views on this particular video, and he's getting away with it because even when we go here, first case of novel 2019 coronavirus in the United States, right? When we go here and we deal with the New England Journal of Medicine, we're gonna have what we're gonna have. So on December 31st, confirmed, China reported a cluster, right, of pneumonia cases. Later to find out it was a new virus, okay? As of January 30th, 2020, a total of 9,976 cases have been reported in at least 21 countries, including the first confirmed case in the United States was reported on January 20th, 2020. In the video, the man says he had COVID in 2019. The first confirmed case wasn't until January 2020. And then it goes on to tell you about, see, people have forgot about this article that was published. But when I started doing Science with Sean, the very first thing that I dealt with was this: when the spread of the virus began, the pandemic began. And this is how they knew what was going on, because they looked at, oh, he was having pneumonia, and they started to notice how the disease was attacking his lungs, his heart, and other things. They were seeing certain things. Well, not just the 35-year-old, but other cases where they were looking at. All right. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm insinuating that. They looked at blood pressure. They looked at all kind of stuff. Look, pulse, 110 beats per minute. Respiratory rate was 16 breaths per minute. Oxygen saturation was 96% while the patient was breathing ambient air. Lung auscultations revealed Ronchi. Let's look this up because I don't know what Ronchi is. So respiratory sounds refer to a specific sounds generated by a movement of air through the respiratory system. These may be easily audible, identified through acculturation of the respiratory system from the lung fields, the stethoscope, as well as from the spectral characteristics of lung sounds. Okay. All right. So here's what it is: crackles, wheezes, pleural friction rubs, sturders, and striders. Okay. Got you. Now we know what the sounds are. All right. Then it says a rapid nucleic acid and amplification test, the NAAT, for influenza A and B was negative. So they knew he ain't had a flu. See, sometimes you got to go all the way back to come forward. Because when you go all the way back and then you come forward, you now can deal with what Rizza is saying over here regarding booster shots, variants, new vaccines, all of that. And then you have the ignorant followers, look, adding all of these people, right? And they don't know any better. They take this at face value. This is why you're banned off of social media, Rizza, because of your inability to be honest in your information. Instead, you promote fear. And then you want to tell us that, you know, those of us who follow the science, that we're promoting fear. No, we're following the data, which you didn't include in any of this information. Yet you made a whole bunch of and this what takes hours, y'all. You'll get a 1 minute, you'll get a minute video, and then you'll get a bunch of claims in a paragraph, and then you have to go through and you have to deal with point for point the claims. So I ain't got the time to do this today. You know, pretty much I already went through this before. So he's made a video before, or this dude in this video, or are you just talking about Rizza? All right, anyway. So he says they're hiding tens of thousands of people who are telling you about their experiences. No, they're not. Why they're not? This is why they're not. They have a reporting system. They have a reporting system. Okay. After you get the vaccine, they give you this to download to your smartphone. It's called VSafe. It is a health checker. After you sign up, they send you a text message every day and ask you how you're feeling. Then it goes from after every day to once a week. And then for so long, it'll go from once a week to 2 weeks. Then it'll go to 3 weeks. Then it'll go to a month. Then it'll go to 2 months. Then it'll go to 3 months. Then they'll randomly just start sending you text messages asking how you feel, have you noticed any changes in you, and all of that through VSafe. Not only do they have VSafe data, their VSafe data reports to VAERS. So they can pull information from VSafe and have it reporting to VAERS. So when he says that they are hiding tens of thousands of people who are telling you about their experiences, he is absolutely incorrect. Why would I go online and tell you about some information when, in all honesty, all I have to do is file a claim? I can report my adverse event here. Or if I had downloaded the vSafe app, I can report my adverse event here. Even reported here, it's going to get here. Why am I saying this? Is because they did a trial on pregnant women who were pregnant at some stage in their life, who received the vaccine, and they pulled the data from vSafe. They pulled the data from vSafe to track the pregnant women to see what stages in their pregnancy they were and to see how this whole vaccine was working among the pregnant women. I did a show on this where we talked about the data being pulled from vSafe. Then he goes, so get that out of here. Then he says, what is above the word of scientist, doctor, and nurse? Personal experiences and reactions. That's a lie. First of all of this is wrong. All of this is wrong. What is above the word of a scientist, doctor, nurse? Personal experiences and reactions. Why is it? Because there's this word called this. Anecdotal. Not necessarily true or reliable, because based on personal accounts rather than facts or research. That's why. This is why, dang, I did this all wrong. This is why I did that, the scientific hierarchy. Y'all remember when I did this? I try to show y'all how the level of scientific evidence is noted. So let me go find one that would be very clear for y'all on YouTube. So let's just use this one. Logic of science. All right, the hierarchy of evidence is the study design robust. So here we go. All right, so there's a clear picture of the hierarchy of science. Okay, it says the weakest form of science information is case reports, opinion papers, and letters. Animal trials and in vitro studies, cross-sectional studies, case control studies, cohort studies, strengthened. You see how it gets strengthened here. Randomized control, meta-analysis and systemic reviews, YouTube videos, and blah, blah, blah. But that ain't it. It gets worse for anecdotal. Why does it get worse for anecdotal? Because it's the weakest form. It's the weakest form. See the hierarchy, how it strengthens. I'm showing y'all. It's the same thing that's dealing with the other portion of that. This is why you don't deal with anecdotal stuff. Anecdotal is on the low scale. It has no merit. You're talking case studies where you don't have evidence for anecdotal reactions. I mean, I could say all kind of stuff. I can make up whatever I want to make up. What is evidence? It's right here. You don't listen. You need evidence, man. If somebody's saying they back hurt from getting the shot, listen, you need evidence. Misconceptions. Perhaps one of the most common misconceptions is that between anecdotal evidence and scientific evidence. Anecdotal evidence is information collected in an informal manner and often relying heavily on personal testimony, such as a case study approach or one yoga teacher's experience with a client. While anecdotal evidence is generally limited in value due to several types of biases, scientific evidence relies on more rigorous methods. Anecdotal evidence includes the first articles published on new topics, comprising most of what we see online in the news and on social media. However, we can't rely on anecdotal evidence exclusively because it is highly susceptible to error attributed to personal biases and preconceived notions. Remember, we expose the reality that they have over 150 new vaccines in the pipeline that they have been working on, and that they will come up with a new variant, then send out the new vaccine every couple months. How many people have been getting a vaccine every couple of months? Where's the 150 new vaccines? Where they at? See how he confuses the data? Here's where all the COVID-19 vaccine candidates currently stand. Pop Science article. There are currently more than 150 different COVID-19 vaccines under development. Of these, more than 50 have reached human trials. 3 have been granted EUA from the FDA. These included 2 mRNA-based vaccines, one from the biotechnology company Moderna and Pfizer, and the other one Johnson & Johnson. So if there's 150 different COVID-19 vaccines under development, only 50 have reached human trials. Now, we know this because we know which vaccines have been approved for EUA around the world, and only 3 in the US. And we know they haven't approved AstraZeneca in the US for EUA. We know Novavax has just emerged. See, we know Novavax has just emerged, and we know where we are with all of this data. But instead, he doesn't tell you the truth here. He says, we expose the reality that they have over 150 new vaccines in the pipeline that they have been working on, and that they will come up with a new variant. No, these vaccines are to combat SARS-CoV-2. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. So that's some sauce on there. That's a whole lot of sauce on there right here. Then he says, booster shots will not stop, neither will the variants. Well, if you go look at certain studies, especially in elderly people that have received the booster shot, and for instance, since y'all like to cherry pick the Israel study shows that booster shots have been effective, especially for Pfizer, have been effective against the new Delta variant because the booster shot provides more protection. Protection increased. They have data on that. This is the problem with the whole lot of junk. So now he says there are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people who were fully experimented on that regret it, and who are experiencing multiple health issues as a result. Now, where is this data? Because, you know, I'm not going to be able to find that. Where is this data? Where did he get this from? You see what I'm saying? And then outside of this, there's tens of thousands have passed away as a result of taking the shot, according to VAERS system. All right, so now let's look at COVID-19 deaths reported to VAERS. I didn't want to hit y'all with the fact checker. So if you're used to me dealing with anything, y'all already know reports of death from COVID-19 vaccines are rare. More than 375 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine went out between December 14th to September 7th, 2021. During this time, they have received 7,439. So a correction, because this is updated now. Why is this updated? Because they update this joker as much as possible. Okay, so I think on here, tell us when it was updated. Well, yeah. So they updated it a week ago on the 7th. All right. So, and it says it right there. Okay. So now they got 7,439 reported deaths. That's 0.0002% among people who have received the COVID-19 vaccine. Just based on this is just using data report. Now, the FDA requires healthcare providers to report any death related to COVID-19 vaccinations to VAERS. Okay. Now, reports of adverse events of VAERS following vaccination include deaths do not necessarily mean that a vaccine caused a health problem. We know this because we know VAERS is a reporting system. I don't want to get into the disclaimer with VAERS reporting system because if I get into the disclaimer with VAERS reporting system, it eliminates that. But as you've seen here, that they already did a check on August the 4th, the data does not prove over 2,000 deaths. There's you know what I'm saying? This is so much craziness going on. So that kills that. Now, this is no secret, but now the people are waking up by the day to this fact. So let's do this. We're at 662,000 deaths. We were just at 654. We're expected to hit about 40,000 deaths for this month from a preventable disease. COVID-19 now is a preventable disease. The vaccine prevents deaths. Why am I saying this? Because we have over 173 plus fully vaccinated million Americans, and the death rate is in unvaccinated people regarding COVID-19. Now look at all of these sources, right? Look at all of these sources you got to go grab just to deal with a post that's probably only got so many characters. That's asinine. We are Farrakhan. Oh my goodness. Intellectually ignorant. So again, there's so many issues in the video. The logic of the video is out of ignorance. He had COVID twice in 2019 and then again in 2020. He didn't get the vaccine until May of 2021. And this is what we're dealing with. So I'm going to tell y'all again, this is why Rizza Islam got kicked off social media. This is why. This is wholeheartedly why. I don't have Instagram, so I can't sign in to see anything. But this is why. And now, right? And now they're using Nicki Minaj as their smokescreen to push their agenda. If you don't believe me, why is it right here? And then on top of that, the NOI has went out and pushed, right? The NOI has went out and pushed their re-agenda or their prevention measures again. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why Rizza Islam is kicked off social media platforms. He has no integrity. He's disingenuous and he misinforms. So no, it's not those of us who are fully vaccinated and that, are vaccine promoting the vaccine. It's not us that's going around here misinforming people. It is people like Rizza Islam who is misinforming people, and it's dangerous because what he just did by sharing a video and saying what he said in there without establishing or presenting any evidence for his claims was just try to stir up the pot even more among people who probably were never going to get the vaccine anyway, but he's just only helping them go through what they're going through. Hold on one second. I might have something for y'all. Yeah, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up, and then I'm gonna end because I gotta work, and I got like a couple minutes. So let me pull this up for y'all real quick. Now, drastic shift for pandemic preparedness, but something is missing. We're starting to see a drastic shift at the national level and international level for pandemic preparedness. In the United States, the White House released a new budget plan for transforming our capabilities. Also, the Office of Science and Technology Policy was elevated to the cabinet level for the first time ever last week, a big deal for science. This is greatly needed. We have to get out of this reactive response mode and mount a proactive, coordinated national strategy. This has been a difficult lesson for the United States to learn. Some countries were forced to learn this lesson from previous epidemics, making their response to COVID-19 tolerable. For example, South Korea COVID-19 success is due to the flawed 2015 MERS response. After MERS, they had several changes to their health system, insurance, and strengthened relationships between public and private agencies. This foundation allowed them to respond quickly to COVID-19. Also saw success in Vietnam due to heavy investment in public health years before the pandemic. New Zealand also had success focusing on 4 cores: rapid, science-based, empathetic leadership, and public confidence and adherence. This resulted in manageable country-level pandemics, even in the wake of Delta. More diseases are coming. Since the Spanish flu, we've seen an emergence of diseases come faster and faster. This is due to myriad of things, but mainly we all should know diseases are jumping from animals to humans. Facts. We are moving into places we've never lived before. I don't even have to read this to know. Look, with climate change, people are moving into areas that they have never inhabited before. You have heard me say this line right here several times as while we become exposed to new viruses. I live in an area that was never inhabited by humans before. They knocked down all the trees, built up this whole new residence here. And now we live in an area where these animals used to reside, and we don't know what we're susceptible to until it emerges. Humans easily spread the virus. This is due to globalization, travel. We neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow with people on airplanes, bus rides, trains, whatever our form of transportation is with mass transit. And then she goes through and gives a critique of a table. So now, a critique. And while the national plans are a fantastic step in the right direction, there's a blaring issue, the need for accessible, timely scientific communication. So this is just her critique regarding STEM. All right. As you can see, she put STEM at the forefront. But this is a big deal because, like she said earlier in this was never at the cabinet level. Again, she said it. This was never at the cabinet level. The policy was elevated to the cabinet level for the first time ever. Ever. So, knowing what we know now, we can be more proactive. The problem is if you get a Republican in the House that doesn't believe in the science and then cuts the plans, removes the cabinet, and then we're back to square one. The only reason we're in the position we're in now is because during the Obama administration, the last 4 years of his administration, they had people working on the coronavirus research and things of that nature. However, that was cut. That research was set aside, and there was no funding for that research. Therefore, you had people like Gates who gets involved in these things and do independent donating to help further research. And then you got people diminishing his name for the work that he's doing to solve global issues or even local issues and things of that nature. And then it gets blown out of proportion. And now they think the dude got all this power, this, that, and the third. It's really irrelevant. Viruses don't care nothing about money, don't care nothing about power. They coming. But yeah, man. So that's some good little information right there from our local epidemiologist. Um, excuse me, that I had received, and I just wanted to get into that. I see we got our sister Troll in the chat, who continue. Oh, every time you show up, you got the same. This person got the same. Whoever this person is, got the same responses. Maybe something different, but that Galen Landcoat MD, yeah, that's copywritten. So that's a bot. That's not a person. That's a bot. All right. So again, man, this is why Rizza Islam is kicked off the internet. He's disingenuous with information. He did this deliberately, and it's not going to stop. So please like the show, share the show, tell a friend, get this information out. Also, stay tuned to our book that's coming. It's coming on the 24th. Spear Masters, right? Drops on the 24th. Same tree, different branch. Look for that information. Again, today's Nahisi's birthday. I know Nahisi, you're listening in or whatever. It's your time to come get some of this work. So I may see y'all on the Mossy late this evening. For the birthday bash in response to the Silent Assassin. That's a couple of things that we could talk about. We could talk about Nahisi for hours. Unfortunately, I have to work in a few minutes, and I want to make sure that I handle my business. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Again, like the show, share the show, tell a friend. Don't forget to go pick up Kofi book, Beautiful Lessons of Kimoyo. And it is what it is. Y'all know what I'm about to do. All right, real quick, Rob, because I don't want to. I'm in a 764. You my guy, but I don't want to. I don't want to type all of this out. So this is directly for you. Okay, show me the flu causing COVID heart, or the flu like really attacking your heart. Show me the flu causing blood clots. Show me the flu causing flu tongue, flu fingers, like rashes on your skin. Show me the flu causing brain fog. Show me the flu causing kidney damage. Show me the flu causing diabetes. Show me the flu. Where else I want to go with it? Heart, lung, all 10 organs. Show me the flu deteriorating all 10 of your organs. Show me the flu causing over 203 symptoms. You can tag me all, bro. Listen, You can tag me all you want. You're not going to show the flu causing 203 symptoms in the human body and attacking 10 organs. The flu does not do that. I'm gonna do this. God, look, hold on 1 second, man. The logic is ignorant, bro. You can't use that type of logic because you don't. I ain't calling you dumb. You know what I'm saying? I rock with you, but God dang, bro, you gotta fall back. You gotta learn. You can't talk about what you don't know, bro. You don't know. So, all right, real quick, let me share my screen, man. Leave, man. This show supposed to be over, bro. You got me doing this because I know you ain't gonna watch the other show, and you definitely ain't gonna look at all the sources. What is the difference between influenza flu and COVID-19? Hold on 1 second. Let me log in my phone. Hold on, because this is important. I got to make sure that I'm signed in. All right. Let me log into my computer. Since some Jetty said I don't do nothing but make YouTube videos. Nah, I work too, bruh. I work too, bruh. All right, so come get this work. Oh man, yeah, the doctor line. Listen, bro. Listen, slow down. Slow down. I don't want to make you look bad, bro. I don't want to make you look bad because I rock with you. What is the difference between the influenza, flu, and COVID-19? Both are contagious respiratory illnesses, but they are caused by different viruses. COVID-19 is caused by infection with coronavirus, first identified in 2019, and the flu is caused by influenza. COVID-19 seems to spread more easily than the flu. However, as more people become fully vaccinated, COVID-19, the spread of the virus that causes COVID-19 should slow down. More information is available. COVID-19. Now, compared to the flu, COVID-19 causes more serious illnesses in some people. COVID-19 can also take longer before people show symptoms, and people can be contagious for longer. More information about the differences between flu and COVID is available in different sections below. Because some of the symptoms of flu, COVID-19, and other respiratory illnesses are similar, the differences between them cannot be made based on symptoms alone. Testing is needed to tell what the illness is and to confirm diagnosis. People can be infected with both flu and the virus that causes COVID-19 at the same damn time. Ask Sheffrin. Now, and have symptoms of both flu and COVID. Wow, more is learned every day. COVID-19 and the virus cause there's still some things such as post-COVID conditions that are unknown. All right, so let's go. Here are the similarities. Fever, feeling feverish, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, sore throat, running nose, muscle pain, body aches, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, changing loss of taste and smell, although there is more frequent in COVID-19. All right. How long symptoms appear after exposure to infection? Similarities for both COVID-19 and flu, 1 or more days can pass. Okay. Between when a person is infected and when he starts to show experiences of illnesses. If a person has COVID-19, it could take them longer to experience symptoms than the flu. I'm going to say that again. If a person has COVID-19, it could take them longer to experience symptoms than if they had the flu. Typically a person experiences symptoms anywhere between 1 to 4 days after infection. COVID-19, typically a person experiences symptoms after 5 days after being infected, but symptoms can appear 2 to 14 days after infection. How long someone can spread the virus? For both COVID-19 and flu, it's possible for at least 1 day. The difference is if a person has COVID-19, they could be contagious for a longer period of time than the flu. The flu, most people with the flu contagious for about 1 day before they show symptoms. Older children and adults with flu appear to be most contagious during the third or fourth days of the illness, but many remain contagious for about 7 days. Infants and people with weakened immune system can be contagious for even longer. With COVID-19, how long can this person spread the virus is still under investigation. It is possible to spread the virus 2 days before experiencing signs and symptoms, remain contagious for at least 10 days after signs and symptoms first appear. And if someone is asymptomatic or their symptoms go away, it is possible they can remain contagious for at least 10 days, going on down to people with severe 20 days or longer for contagious with people with weaker immune systems. High spread. We all know it's person to person. All right. You give them that. Okay. We all know that. We ain't got to be stupid on that. We know that. But let's go with the differences. While the virus that causes COVID-19 and the flu viruses are thought to spread in similar ways, the virus that causes COVID-19 is more contagious than the flu. Also, COVID-19 has been observed to have more super spreading events than the flu. This means that the virus causes COVID-19 can quickly and easily spread to a lot of people and result in continuous spreading among people as time passes. I have more than this information. I have more than this because I did a whole show on it, bro. I did a whole freaking show on it, bro. So what I'm trying to tell you is you gotta slow down. Now, we can look at the similarities, but overall, COVID-19 seems to be more serious illnesses in some people. Serious COVID-19 illnesses result in hospitalizations and death occur in even healthy people. You don't see healthy people dying from the flu. You don't see healthy people dying from the flu. Some people that had COVID-19 can go on to develop post-COVID. You don't have a post-flu, bro. You go through, when you get the flu, you go through a series of stuff. You don't have symptoms 14, 20 days, 28 days, 30 days, 6 months out like you do from COVID with the flu. So to sit there and say what you're saying is asinine. So hell yeah, I'm gonna look at what you tag me to, and then I'm gonna give you that work. I'm gonna look at what you tag me to, 764, then I'm gonna give you that work. Now, they both, COVID-19 and the flu, result in these complications: pneumonia, respiratory failure, acute respiratory distress, sepsis, cardiac injury, multiple organ failure. They're specific. Failure, kidney failure, respiratory failure, kidney failure, shock, worsen of chronic medical conditions involving the lungs, heart, and the nervous system, and diabetes, inflammation of the heart, brain, and muscle tissue, secondary infections, bacterial, fungal infections that can occur in people who have already been infected with flu or COVID. Differences: flu. Most people who get the flu will recover on their own in a few days to 2 weeks. But some people will experience severe complications requiring hospitalization. Some of these complications are listed below. All right. Secondary bacterial infections are more common in influenza with COVID. Diarrhea is more common in young children with flu than in adults. COVID-19, additional complications. Okay. Additional blood clots. Blood clots. Like I told you, show me the flu causing blood clots. Show me the flu. Look. Blood clots in the veins and arteries of the lungs, the hearts, the legs, or brain, bro. Multi-symptom inflammatory syndrome, Miss C, and in adults, Miss A. Long COVID. There's no long flu. You don't have that because you recover. Come on now. I can go on and on and on and on. You listen, bro. I'm trying to tell you, what you don't want to do is compare these two. The science is already spoken. Both of them things is listen. You being ignorant right now. Being ignorant right now. You being ignorant right now. No, what it said when I read it to you, what it said was additional complications associated with COVID-19 can include blood clots in the veins and arteries of the lungs, heart, legs, or brain. You don't have that. You get inflammation of the heart, brain, and muscle tissues in the flu and COVID. The differences was diarrhea in children. You don't get blood clots. You don't get brain fog like that, bro. When nobody talking about no brain fog and no flu. You tripping all the way, man. With no map. You tripping. You can't compare the two, bro. And for you to listen, if it's facts over feelings, how the hell is you listening to somebody and you ain't listening to people who've been doing this work for the last few years? The first thing you should have done, bro, instead of argue, was ask question. Hey, you should have been like, hey, Sean, check this video out for me. What you think about this? This dude saying this. And then I would have just sent you my video on the work I already done. And then you would have been like, oh, okay, cool. But to try to just come out and stand on you having this position as one thing, what's the difference between that and you in the chat arguing about a vaccine? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Nah, they're not the same. They have similarities and then they have differences. The differences is the risk of COVID-19 is more severe. There's more severe symptoms. There's 203 symptoms that are produced from COVID-19. 56 symptoms are common in have been related in the study in COVID. And not all 203 have shown up in everybody. It's been more like, some of these rare symptoms. However, this ain't the flu. There's some huge differences. There's some similarities, and then there's some huge differences. And you can spot the differences between the two of them. And you know what I'm saying? You don't wanna do that, bro. You don't want to make that mistake. Like that would be kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's unscientific right there. That's using your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be facts over feelings, and you using your feelings. You using your feelings. Well, I just went to the CDC website and showed you the differences. Okay. All right. Okay, I got you. Okay. But yeah, we just have to slow down. So you should be vaccinated. Long story short, but you don't want to be vaccinated, you don't have to. You ain't gonna have to. One way or the other. Either nature's going to vaccinate you or you're going to get a vaccine. That's just the truth of the matter. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. That's it. But nah, you have to. Yeah, you should really, 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 really consider that part of it. Like, don't. I mean, I see now, but I was seeing y'all was arguing, so I was like, you took a position. So that's the only reason that I said what I said. Because no, we don't want to make the mistake of demeaning the flu, or we don't want to make the mistake of demeaning COVID-19, because we just went through, and we could look at it. Let's look and see how many. Look, because you had people wearing masks. Because you had people wearing masks in 2020. The CDC estimated that a burden of illnesses between 2019 and 2020 seasons were moderate, with an estimated 38 million people sick with the flu, 18 million visits the healthcare provider the flu, 400,000 hospitalizations, 22,000 flu deaths. That's in 2 years, from 2019 to 2020. Okay. The flu is known for doing its thing, right? So in 2 years, so just listen to this, in 2 years, right, from 2019 to 2020, there was only 22,000 deaths. COVID-19, just in this month alone, is going to hit 42,000 deaths. They had 100,000 deaths in 1 month from COVID. It's 652,000 deaths since we've been in a pandemic for 2 years, and we still counting bodies. And the reason that the flu isn't more prominent right now is because people practice social distancing and was wearing masks. So the transmission of the flu went down last year. So there was less people who contracted flu, except for Sheffrin. He caught the flu and COVID. And so you had transmission down, you had and all of that stuff, but you still had COVID being relevant, even with masks. You know what I'm saying? Okay, think about this. You had lockdowns, bro. We was working from home. You had a substantial amount of people that was working from home last year in 2020. And you still had spikes. You had numbers that was ridiculously crazy in COVID cases and deaths with all of that going on. So, you know, that's the type of time that we're on. We just got to slow it down to make it make sense in a way that we can divvy it out, because, you know, we don't want to throw that on people. So all in all, your argument for not being vaccinated has to be more entrenched in a position that you take. If you're using the flu as a measuring stick for why you're not vaccinated against SARS-CoV-2, then that would be out of ignorance, because they're two different viruses. See what I'm saying? When I was showing the new variants and they was happy to go outside. Well, when you expose people back to nature and you get new hosts, then yes, you're going to get new variants. But you got to go back and watch. Hold on, let me see if I can put it in the chat for you. You got to go back and watch, because I ain't got a lot of videos on here, so it's not like it's a lot to go back on. But you have to go back and you have to watch the video that I did called "What Are Variants." It's like the fourth video that I did, because the first video I did is "What is science?" and then "What is a virus?" and then the origins of SARS-CoV-2, and then "What are variants?" and then "What is scientific evidence?" So if you go back and watch that show, right, you can obtain some information out of that show that will be susceptible for learning and understanding. And I kind of go through that there, and we talk about it. But I also got Vincent Racaniello in here too, and that's important because it's paramount that you know who Vincent is. Yep. And this is just on this channel. So we want to make sure that we are promoting the right information to everybody. But Rob just gonna mess with you because you ain't got the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mess with you too because he listening. So now you on Unc radar. Yeah, you know, all right. And now I'm gonna mess with you some more. But no. I'm gonna visit what you tagged me into, and I'm gonna get into all of that too, bro. For real. Yeah. I'm at work, bro. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm signed in, pulling up my reports, putting up all my data. You know what I'm saying? Get myself ready to handle my business. But yeah, now you're on the radar, bro. We at you now. We got you. Yeah, we see you out here in these unvaccinated streets. We see you out here in these unvaccinated streets. We coming for you now. 764. Yeah. Dang, this report ain't pulling up at all though. Yeah, man. So check me out later on the Monster Warrior Clan, man. I'll be live, man. I think I'm gonna be live. I don't know. I don't want to lie, saying I'm gonna be live and I don't go live. And I appreciate everybody tuning in and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to run that down real quick because we don't want to make the mistake of comparing the two. Protein spikes and how they saying DNA is not needed, but RNA was first. Yeah, RNA was first. When you looking at life, you know what I'm saying? The importance of RNA. Yeah, that video about the importance of RNA, that's a bad video. If you watch what I watched, that is also in a book that I got, talk about RNA. And the how you don't really get evolution or anything without RNA. So it's very significant. RNA is very significant. And understanding that science go from there. But we all make little small mistakes here and there. Ain't nobody perfect, you know what I'm saying? I ain't beating you up. I ain't mad at you. But we just want to make sure that we have the right information so we can make an informed decision. So that's it at the end of the day. But it's all love, bro. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Again, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to go get that work. And, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and catch me on there. Nah, I know. I know you ain't no dummy. Nah, I know you ain't no dummy, bro. But you had a right to ask questions, hold a position. I mean, we just gotta explain it better. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, we just gotta explain it better. There's more information though that flu when you comparing them like that. Like it's so much more. The flu don't cause as many symptoms, and that was significant. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to log in to the data. All right, hold on, y'all. I think that's it. I think I signed in wrong. Yep. I'm finna have to reset this mug. Missing my symbol. Yep. All right. So again, man, like the video, share the video, tell a friend, Rizza dies again. Rizza, you died in my book. You died in a previous video on the Mossy, and you just died again. You keep coming up with that senseless pseudoscience, and you position it as propaganda, and you got thousands of Black people following you because you're a charismatic figure and you're destroying people's lives with your misinformation. It's very disingenuous of you, Rizza. And that is why they kicked you off of all social media platforms, because you you just disrespectfully ignorant, and you won't even do your due diligence to provide your platform an opportunity to see some of this information that you said you brought out. Where's the data? And y'all can go drop it in his own. You can take this video, drop it because y'all got Instagram. You can take this video, go to Rizza page and drop it on that video. Just drop it in there. Drop it in this comment thread. He ain't gonna watch it, but you can drop it in there. He ran from Unc. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he committed pseudocide. Rizza has done it again. He has committed pseudocide. So I'm gonna end the video, man. We kind of extended the video out a little bit, but you go through and you watch this. If you watch it once or twice or whatever, And in this description of the video, I actually got the, deal with the video that he plays, he shares, and then we deal with his post. You can see that how the science or how the data lines up with his ignorance. Well, it doesn't line up with his ignorance. My bad. I take that back. How the data doesn't align with his ignorance. And it's shameful that we have to go through that. And it really is. So maybe I should get up early in the morning and do my reading and then do a show or something like that. I don't know. Still trying to work some stuff out, but just wanted to get that out there with y'all, man. So again, y'all have a good one again. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, I ain't gonna drop nothing else on y'all, man. But appreciate the little leftovers. Take care. Chimum Hotel.